everybody, Cindy Otter here with my artsy endeavors. Okay, we are going to work on face number 4. This time I decided to do, I want to do a little bit different face. I want to kind of, I don't know what I'm doing. We're just going to play, see what we end up with. Looks kind of funny, but that's okay. Let's see, we're going to do a neck coming down this way. Oh, how are we going to do this? This is going to be her one eye here. And you know what? This one is going to have a closed eye. How's that sound? And let's see, bridge of her nose. I gotta turn her sideways. This is going to be another closed eye, another eyebrow. As you know, I've already gessoed this card. So we're just going to do something a little bit different, you know? Why not? Let's see, how am I going to do her? This chin's way too big, so let's get rid of that for right now. I know I'm trying to do this on small scale. I probably should do it on a bigger scale, but every time I pick one of these cards up, I just never know what I'm going to do. It's just a matter of what I'm in the mood to play with, you know, or what I'm in the mood to draw, I guess you could say. She looks like she's got a big cheek. Let's take off her cheek. Got a little bit here. Let's see, we'll make her lips. I just want it to go out there. As my one friend says, she might turn out looking like a zombie, but you never know. I just want her a little bit like that. Bring her neck down. No, that's too close. I don't like it that close. Bring her neck down here. Oops, sorry, I was out of camera range. I'm sorry. Alright, I kind of like her. Now, I am going to just play with some different things that I have here. I got a bunch of pens up through here that I want to play with. This may or may not work. We'll see. I've got some different colors, some prismas. I'm just picking out basically like a, some flesh-toned colored pens. Let's see what else I've got. I think that's it for right now. So I've got some Prism colors. I got these Le Plums. Let's see. We've got a baby pink, an apricot, and a powder pink. So we know what those are. We have shell color, walnut. So I know that's a darker. We have putty, light peach. We're going to start with the shell. Just going to start with the shell. Let's see. Oh no, don't dry out on me. Well, this isn't good. My shell color, oh, it is there. It's very light. Wow. Too light. Okay, don't like the shell color. Let's try the light peach. Let's see what the light peach does. That's a little bit better. I'm picking up some of my graphite pencil. That's fine, it'll just work for shading, right? At least I think it will. Oops. Yeah, I may end up going to my regular pens for this, or I might bring out my watercolor pencils. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. I want a little bit of a darker. That to me looks too dark. Yeah. Let's throw some darker along in here. I think it's going to be too dark. Yeah, that's way too dark. Putty. Let's see what putty does. That'll work. Making a little darker through here. I'm gonna put a little bit of dark right here in her nose bridge. Over her eyes, I'm gonna put some dark around where her hair might go. Some dark under here, the shadow of her chin. Again, you guys got to remember, I'm making this stuff up as I go along because I'm practicing. And I can tell you just by the practicing that I've got so far, I need some paints. I'll be right back. Okay, so I didn't end up with paints. I brought out my Prima. These are Prima watercolor pencils. This one is number 89. And this is going to be done with watercolor pencils. Let's see how we do. Not worried about that graphite. Not sure about our lips, but we'll figure that out. Now I didn't bring out my water. I actually just have this small prescription bottle full of water that I use when I do these. Just going to take a small brush. Looks like it's been beat up. I don't really want it real wet. Just want to move this around a little bit, kind of flatten it out. There we go. Throw some shadowing. Like I said, her lips we're going to have to work on definitely. Okay. Her hair, ouch. Let's see, her hair, I think we're just gonna make her hair kind of come like this, maybe down a little bit. How's that sound? So I'm just going to fill in what I think would be the shadow of her hair. Okay. Now, I think right through here we'd have a little bit more shadow on her eye. Right? Because the bridge of the nose is actually going to shadow part of the eye right here. Here's the pencils that I'm using. I've got them in a case here, so want this one, I want this one. I'm just working on just using flesh colors and flesh tones. I don't really want it yellowy, I don't really want it a little pink. Alright, so the colors I'm using is I have number 89, like I said. That's another 89, so apparently I have two. Number 5, number 8, and number 9. So let's see, this is number 5. And this is basically like a flesh color I'm putting in here. So let's take, I would like to find a smaller brush. Let me see if I can find a small, there we go, right here. I'm just using this as Simply Simon's number 1 round. Just want to bring a little bit more of that. So far I'm liking her. I've got a little bit of a darker, is this, no, that's the 89, I've used that. Let's try this one. This one is the number 8. This is a little bit more of like a peachy type color. Just gonna bring that through. You know what I'd really like to have? I'm going to grab my Neo colors. I'll be right back. Alright, so I got my Neo color crayons out, and this one is actually flesh, and this is pretty well dry, so I'm just going to color in her flesh color here. And then I'm going to activate this with some water. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Not worried about her eyebrows. I can go back over those. I'll be going back over those probably with something black. Her lips we're going to work on. Right now I'm just working on the shade of her face. And just get some of this flesh on here. We can work more on the colors of her actual, there we go. So far I like her. One thing else I need, I want a little smudger guy. Again, this is just to give her a shadow. My pencil, I just want to put more of a shadow in here. Okay, let's dry her up and I'll be right back. Alright, so she's pretty well dry. I am going to go back in with more of this Neo color because I would kind of like to cover up that background we've got going on there. Not worried about her hair. We're going to work on that in a little while. Just adding some more of this Neo color flesh. And my paintbrush. I have this, look at this, I have this pile over here, so it takes me a minute to find what I'm looking for. So let's just go back in with this. Yeah, I like it. Much, much nicer. I have a hard time actually doing things with like watercolor pencils and markers. I'm not sure why. I think it's just because I haven't really practiced a whole lot with them. So I think that's what my issue is. But, you know, that's why we're doing 55 faces. I'm going to keep playing until I like them, right? There we go. I like that. I just think this gives her more of a smoother look to her face. Like I said, we're going to work on her lips. We're going to work on her hair, all that. No worries. Okay. So now while that is drying, what I want to do, I actually received in my art box a new pen that I want to try. It's a Pigma MB from Sakura, and according to the little card, it's supposed to be waterproof, all that. So I'm gonna use it today, and it's a little bit thicker than I wanted, but that's okay. We'll just deal with it. And like I said, her eyes are going to be closed, so we're going to work on that. Just a little bit here. A little bit on the end of her nose. So let's find out how waterproof this is. Because her eyes are going to be closed, we need to fill them in with flesh color. I'm almost afraid to touch this. So far it's waterproof. But I'm not going to use it for her lips because they'll look atrocious. So let's see, let me grab my other pens. Alright, so this is just a regular Faber-Castell Pitt pen. And this is the extra small. And I know some people are probably cringing because I'm outlining in black, but that's okay. I think I need a little bit bigger, so I'm going to go to the small. That's better. Because I can, I'm giving her purple lips. This is just a purple Neo color. It's actually mauve. Just going to throw a little bit of mauve in here. Maybe, maybe not. Okay. Still not happy with her face, but I have some white gesso here that I used on a last project I was working on. So I'm going to grab a little bit of this white gesso. I just want to give her a little bit of, just bring out some of the highlights on her, just a touch. Just a touch. Okay. A little bit of white on her forehead here. A little bit here on her neck. And I mean, I am just doing this in the very tiny amounts, just to make some shadows, to make some highlights, I should say. Just to do a little bit of highlights. I want a little highlight on her eyes. Okay, like I said, I've got it down her nose here. On the tip of her nose, we're going to throw a little highlight in her lip. Just something different. Okay. Now I want, like I said, she's going to be in a quiet mode. I haven't really done a whole lot with her hair yet. But now I want to, while this dries a little bit, I want to work on the background. And I think I'm going to stick with my Neo colors. And I think I'm in the mood for a golden yellow. So let's throw some golden yellow down here. Not worried about the hair. We'll work on, we'll work on that. Got a little on my table. So I'm just throwing down some golden yellow on the Neo colors. And if you've watched my videos, you know I have a hard time getting these to be the consistency of color that I like. So I tend to put extra on because I like them to really cover. Just going to finish up this yellow. Alright, now I'm going to take my brush. I'm actually going to take a little bit bigger brush because I want to try to... Ooh, that one hasn't been cleaned well. I want to try to keep the yellow as I can keep it in its... There we go, where it's at. So basically I'm just activating the yellow where it sits. I'm not really brushing. I'm just adding a little bit of water to it to keep it with that vibrancy. Just kind of activating the color where it sits. And I hope I'm not making you guys dizzy by flipping her around and around and around. That just happens to be the way I create. I want it to be right up in there. Just activating that color. Isn't that awesome? Look at that color. It's so yellow. I want it to go right up into her chin, around her face. And her hair, we're probably going to go, her hair is going to come through here, but we're just going to add a little bit of yellow to it. Again, just activating the color that's there. Love it. Okay, let's dry her up and we'll keep working on her. Alright, so she's pretty well dry. She's still kind of tacky here and there. I still have a little bit of water on her, which is fine. And I did some basically lifting the water, and what that did is that actually, whoops, get back here you. That actually lifted some of the color in different spots. So I kind of like that background. I like this juggle. So let's keep working on her. Now I really like her, but I need some more. I want some more of a shadow with her. Let's see, what color am I going to use? That's cinnamon. That's maybe not too big. Let's try it. We're going to try a little bit of cinnamon. I don't want a whole lot. I want to put a little bit more in here. There we go. Around her hairline. Just make it a little bit darker. Just adding a little bit more color. Some under her chin. Actually, I want it going up. A little bit more here by her face. taking in some of that charcoal, or graphite I should say. Okay, I want I'm going to pick up a little bit more of that cinnamon, just a little bit. Put it here under the eye, maybe in the crease of the eye, if it will go there. A little bit here under her chin. Not getting as much of it as I want. There we go. I like her. I do. Okay, so now that I've got her cinnamon more on her, I am going to take a little bit of, this is salmon. Do I want salmon? Let's see. Apricot. Salmon rose, it says. I'm going to take this. Pick up a little bit of that. I'm just going to give her a little bit more color here. She's slowly looking good. Slowly, slowly. Now I'm going to dry her again. Actually, I want to put a little bit more on her nose, and then I'm going to come back in with that white gesso again and bring back those highlights. You can see what I'm doing here. I'm just putting a little bit on my mat, and then I'm just, with a very finely wet brush, I'm just picking up some of that color. And just using that color right off the brush. And I can actually pick up some of that color off her as well, just using the brush dried out a little bit. So she's not quite so pink. And now I'm going to shoot her real quick with the dryer. Okay. Okay, she's pretty well dry. I'm going to go back in with a graphite pencil because I still want to keep her shadow around her. And I like to name my girls, and I was looking at her when I was drying her last time, and the name Serenity came to me, and I don't know why. That just looks like what she is. She's very serene. So I've got to find, it'll come to me. We'll figure out what kind of name we're going to have for her. Not sure yet. I have a feeling it's going to start with an S though. Just because she just looks very serene, very calm, very relaxed. Okay, I still want more of her flesh color. So So I'm going back in with that same brush with a little bit more flesh color, because I don't like how uneven this is here. So I'm gonna even that out a little bit. Same here. Just kind of even her out a little bit. Her forehead almost looks spotty to me, and I don't like that. She also looks like she has a little bit of swollen cheek right there, but you know what? That's okay, because we just went to the dentist not too far back, so that's all. Alright, let's see, what color am I going to do in her hair? Purple, 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 purple. You know it's gotta be purple. There's one purple. Here's a different shade of a purple. Just throwing it in there. Let's do a little bit of darker shade of the purple. And now let's just take our brush, very, very lightly wet it, and just activate that color. Just activating that color, letting it come through. Okay, I love her hair. Alright. Now, while she dries, while her hair dries, I actually want to work on the rest of the card. Okay, so I've got this yellow on here. That's all fine and dandy, but I can't have just yellow. So let's take this is classic blue. Let's work on some blue around the outside. Okay, again, we're just going to wake up the color. I don't want anything crazy, just wake it up. Sabrina, that's her name. Sabrina. Not sure I like that. So I'm going to go in, I'm just going to lift off some water. There we go. See, when it's dry and you still want to lift off, just re-wet it. That's all. Lift off some of this color. Still have it there, but not as boom as it was. Okay, now I have a stamp here that I think I'm going to use. This is just, I found an AC Moore in, I don't know, a $1 bin or $2 bin, something like that. And I just think it's a real cool stamp. So we're going to use this on her. Try and decide which way I want to put it. I'm going to put it right here. Yes, I like it. And I'm going to do it again. Here I am. I've got myself, I got to show you this. This is funny. I'll bring you back. Oops, back out. I have myself surrounded so I have this little bitty spot to work in. Okay, back in. Alright, I am going to put this one right here. I like it. Okay. Still want to do something to the outside. I'm going to use this little pen that I've got here. And I think I'm just going to do spirals. Just to kind of break up that color a little bit. What did I say her name was? Sabrina. Now I want to take a little bit, actually I'll just do it with these pens. This is a Design 2 art marker. I'm just going to, I don't like it, but that's okay. We started it, we have to finish it. Just throwing some color in these little spiral wheels here. And it picked up my black ink, which was not all the way dry, but that's okay. Okay, you know, I kind of like her. And I said it was Sabrina. Trying to decide if I want to write her name on here. I think I do. But I'm going to write it in a pen. And I'm going to write it right through here. And we're going to have to do it with this pen, which is a little bit thicker. The last thing I'm going to do is find my brush again. Still want to go back in with that white, and like I said, I want to just put a little bit of highlights here. Just a little bit of highlight on her forehead, maybe a little bit on her chin. A little bit through her hair. And there she is. Very relaxing, calming Sabrina. I hope you enjoyed. As always, like, subscribe, share, comment. I respond to all my comments. Be kind, have fun, and happy creating. Until the next face. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching.